What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jobbers and Goons. The part 1 to this actually did amazing. It's over like 4,000 views by the time of this, as well as got more than double the like goal. You guys are savages for that. And as a result, since we are doing 100 characters from DC Comics that could slap up Goku, I need you guys to slap the like button. Oh my god, bars. But anyways, last time I believe it was either 100 or 200. We're going to go 300 right now. 300 likes if you want the part 3, okay? Which would be horror. After horror, we do anime, okay? And manga. So, if you want to reach those, you got to run the likes up. Simple as that. If you want to see your favorite character on this channel or my second channel, The Coffee Shop, hit me up on Discord to talk about purchases and join the server because you can win free videos by joining the server, joining giveaways, and playing games. But anyways, there's also, if you like this series, like characters who can beat, I kind of revived the series using this and altering a video suggestion someone had. So you can actually purchase the next character to beat in this series. Or you can just comment down below, and if there's a super popular character people want to see get beat up, we'll go after them next because it's fun to do and you guys seem to enjoy it. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this. This is 100 characters from DC that can box up Goku. Without further ado, let's begin. Oh, keep in mind, this won't have like pictures or much video in it because I'm kind of doing discussion style for this video because there's so many characters to go through, literally 100, and kind of explain things. So in order to get these videos out quickly, we go podcast style with it. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and cycle through the characters. And let's begin now. First several are going to be Superman variants to get everyone riled up. So first, let's talk about how strong Goku is, right? We're going to be assuming Goku is at the following power levels. Multiversal to Multiversal Plus, using calcs, power stacking, given his multipliers and whatnot. Assuming he broke extra, or was a threat to break extra dimensional constructs, we'll put him at like 5D. As well as we'll give him immeasurable speed, scaling off of feats such as the Tournament of Power, fighting characters that scale beyond that, fighting Jiren. So we have that for him, as well as like Ultra Instinct. He can tap into Strength Multipliers, Zenkai's Energy Manipulation, Soul Erasure, and other hacks. And if he's stronger than you, he can overpower your hacks according to the laws of his verse. So that's the Goku we're going to be operating with, okay? The strongest current Goku, okay? So who would beat him up from DC? First, we got Superman pre-Crisis. For shits and giggles, Superman pre-Crisis used to throw people through time. He could be like, yo, you want to go to the 3rd century for a joke? Okay, cool. See ya, Jimmy. And he would just toss Jimmy Olsen. On top of this, he can fight gods, eventually like surpassing the bounds of physical laws like time and space on a conceptual level, massively above dimensions. He has a lot of bullshit, almost gag scaling that puts pre-Crisis at just a crazy level. His outlandish scaling and stats, pre-Crisis Superman bops. Next, we have post-Crisis Superman. I realized post-Crisis Superman was OD when he easily boxed up Dark Supergirl. Keep in mind, Dark Supergirl was like able to stalemate regular Supergirl, casually one-shot Flash, was a threat to one-shot Martian Manhunter, and one-shot Hal Jordan. Also bullied Kryptonian suit, Power Suit, Lex Luthor. It was just a joke of a matchup, and he could beat up like Flash members and Lanterns pretty easily. So with the scaling of Superman casually being able to counter that level of power, his hacks, including his laser vision, his ability to alter his molecules and yours as well, would catch Goku off guard, seeing how fast he moves. He could blitz and throw him into the source wall. Like, post-Crisis would beat the shit out of Goku. It's a terrible matchup. Now, New 52 Superman might be the most underrated Superman out there. Now, yes, New 52 didn't have as crazy of scaling as perhaps the other arcs throughout DC. However, it's nothing to scoff at. For example, in New 52, we saw Superman go toe-to-toe with a true form Darkseid. Having that level of power is absolutely crazy. On top of this, at one point he actually shatters Phantom Stranger in one shot, which includes physical, spiritual, and metaphysical. Goku gets one-tapped by that Superman. Like, it's not even funny. Next, we're going to talk about Superman from Rebirth. Now, this is actually a lot easier to kind of go through because Superman from Rebirth is basically an amalgamation of prior instances. For example, like New 52 and PostCrisis. So having cultivated such scaling from them, naturally he's far superior to Goku. But on top of this has his own feats, including shattering the World Forger, which is beyond the multiverse and helps forge multiverses, which scale well into Outerversal. With all that in mind, Rebirth Superman bops on Goku. Next, we have Cosmic Armor Superman. This shouldn't be controversial, even to those that casually know Cosmic Armor Superman. Forged to battle a threat to the multiverse, and a threat even the monitors were aware of, and did not like, as it was a dark monitor, Mandrak, the multiversal vampire ender of stories, destroyer of narratives. Cosmic Armor Superman, fated to be the hero no matter what. Basically his own hyper story, battled this Mandrak on a conceptual level, threw him into the Overvoid. This version of Superman, zero diff, one-shots the entire verse, especially Goku. Next, we have Strange Visitor Superman. Now, like, he's not as strong as people initially thought, but his scaling is still OD. For example, with scaling, that can be putting him at the 5th dimension level in DC is entirely different than regular 5th dimensional, as it's an archetypal level, and a level literally that's like imagination that imagines concepts. So Strange Visitor Superman scaling to that and around that, and even being somewhat relative to that, bolos Goku. Next, we have Quantum Superman. Now, this is one I think is very interesting. He actually, first time I saw him was in the Cosmic Armor Superman era run. And at this point, he was in Limbo, which is where stories are supposed to be forgotten. There's actually a hall there of forgotten stories and narratives. That's how high it scales. It's like beyond the multiverse and dimensions themselves. Quantum Superman also forged and created Cosmic Armor Superman and merged Superman and Ultraman. So I think his scaling, the fact he can like interpret, scale, and understand the level of like Cosmic Armor Superman, who looks at Limbo like you would look at like a gnat. That kind of scaling for Quantum Superman is just crazy, and he one-shots. Next, we have Injustice Superman. Now, he's OD because we saw he was actually able to body Hercules. Being able to do so, Hercules is a being that would scale to the gods that reside in the God Sphere. This makes him OD because the God Sphere is outside of dimensions themselves. So even if it's an off-brand shoot like Injustice, the fact that Superman can do shit like that in that run means he can even beat up Goku in that run. And that's crazy because that's typically assumed to be a weaker run. But yeah, Injustice Superman does indeed have scaling that puts him well above Goku. Next, we have Blue Superman. Now, the reason this shit's kind of funny is Blue Superman's supposed to, in theory, like, not be that, or, like, the strongest Superman or one of them, but he's very impressive. In fact, you can scale him to the Source Wall, with the Source Wall being beyond even the archetypal God Sphere. Blue Superman, scaling to that in stats like speed and strength is absolutely absurd, and beyond anything ever established in Dragon Ball. So with that scaling in mind, Blue Superman bodies. Next, we're moving on from the Superman template. We're going to go through a quick run of different Batmans, okay? Because it's super fucking necessary. Now, first we have Batman with a Green Lantern ring. Obviously, Batman already able to react to characters like Supergirl in Post-Crisis and other characters like Flash family members. Batman with a Green Lantern ring. Considering he has some of the most OD willpower in the multiverse, Batman with the Green Lantern ring, which he keeps on, and would absolutely bolo Goku if they were to brawl. Like, it'd be embarrassing. Batman would easily be one of the strongest Green Lanterns ever. Next, we have Batman Who Laughs. Batman Who Laughs, a part of the famous DC Dark Metal run, is OD, including the fact he carries, like, a high outer map. Like, it shows him high outer realms, and he understands his own narrative and writing. And he, like, got it from the author. As well as his gun and bullets can knock out, like, Rebirth Wonder Woman, who can be scaled relative to Rebirth Superman. So with that in mind, Batman Who Laughs, when he pops Goku, it's all she wrote. Like, it's going to be rough for him. Next, we have the Darkest Knight. No surprise to anyone, this is like the evil ascended version of Batman that's from the Dark Multiverse, aka Batman Who Laughs. This god version is able to even battle Perpetua, who is able to create the high outer DC multiverse creation itself. And the fact Darkest Knight scales to a brawl with her and Golden Wonder Woman as well is absolutely insane. Next, we have Hellbat Batman. Now, this Batman is a Batman who designed his suit to basically scale to the God Sphere. As I've discussed prior with other iterations in this video, the God Sphere does scale to outerversal, being beyond dimensions and being archetypal in nature. So, given he has a Hellbat which can go there and battle Darkseid there, yeah, this version of Batman definitely bops Goku before Goku can really do anything. Next, we have Kryptonian-injected Injustice Batman. Now, at one point in the Injustice saga, Batman decides to inject himself with Kryptonian power, basically. At this point, he becomes a power rival to even Superman and can beat him up. Even Alfred took this juice and beat the shit out of Superman. So, given I already scaled Injustice Superman here, you can side scale them together right there. And Batman's even more skilled, so it's arguably scarier. So yeah, he beat the shit out of Goku. Next, we have Conceptual Glock Batman. Now, here's the thing. Batman at one point designed a Glock to conceptually kill a being from the God Sphere, famously being Darkseid. This bullet literally is archetypal in nature, doesn't need to travel, and it will kill you like conceptually across all timelines, across the multiverse, even up to the God Sphere. And he was able to pop Darkseid with it, who even the baby form of Darkseid falling would crush the DC multiverse. So, yeah. Being able to shoot like that, this Conceptual Glock Batman would bolo and one-shot Goku. Next, we have Apocalypse Suit Batman. Now, at one point, Batman assists Superman in raiding Apocalypse because they had to free the homies, right? Well, when Batman gets there, he confronts True Form Darkseid, and he's like, yo, back the fuck up. We're robbing this bitch. And if you don't back up, we are going to blow this whole Apocalypse up. He actually did box with Darkseid, could take hits from him and all that. And being this would be True Form, this Batman just outstats Goku ridiculously and bolos him. Next, we have Superman as Batman. Yes. At one point, Superman dressed up as Batman and went around being the Caped Crusader. Now, unfortunately for Goku, he pulls up on this Batman, thinks he's fighting base Batman. He's getting one-shotted. This obviously would scale to the Superman who I scaled earlier in the video. Yeah, this Batman just bolos Goku with stats. Next, we have Black Lantern Batman. Given the Black Lantern inherently scales above the Green Lantern, it's like beyond death, even beyond the control of characters like Spectre. This Batman would have the power hacks and would honestly catch Goku off guard. And with stats and power and win cons, would defeat Goku. Next, we are moving on from the Batman era. Smash the like button. We got Superman and Batman, most of them out the way. Now, next, we have Aquaman from post-crisis. Now, Aquaman at this point, at many times, showed he could actually go toe-to-toe with Superman and Superman tier characters. His fighting prowess, hacks, and his use of the Trident would be able to take down Goku, especially using his higher scaling. Next, we have Aquaman from Rebirth. Now, this is an amalgamation of like Doom 52 and post-crisis feats, including when his Trident can hurt true form Darkseid. So yeah, having a godlike weapon like that and scaling to characters like Superman, Rebirth, Aquaman should melt Goku. Next, we have Mera. Now, shout out to the homie Zeus. He used to scale Mera a lot. She is typically associated with Aquaman, of course, usually like his bodyguard as well. And because she has to serve a role like this, that role requires she scales to beings that threaten Aquaman. Because of this, her water hacks and power manipulation, Mera definitely does have scaling to put her above Goku. Next, we have Booster Gold. Now, because he's like a funny character who time travels and does other hero shit, people don't really take him serious. However, Booster Gold has some pretty crazy scaling. This includes Energy Blast and being able to brawl with Doomsday, with pretty much any iteration of Doomsday being able to walk through Goku. So, Booster Gold scaling to this, being able to tangle with someone like that, easily allows him to bolo Goku. Next, we have Hal Jordan, perhaps the most famous Green Lantern ever. Hal Jordan has plenty of scaling, including fighting beings from the God Sphere, being relative to Superman, fighting General Zod, being able to fight conceptual beings from the emotional spectrum. All these qualities, Hal Jordan has plenty of scaling to put him above Goku. Next, we have Sinestro. You can definitely even just use New 52 Sinestro, given he survived hits from Highfather, who was also amped at the time, Highfather being able to battle Darkseid in the God Sphere. Sinestro also was able to battle threats to the DC multiverse, as well as they had basically taken out everyone on Earth at that point. Yeah, Sinestro has OD scaling with stats and his hacks through fear hacks. He would just bolo Goku however he wants. Next, we have Kyle Rayner. Now, personally, he's arguably one of my least favorite Lanterns. However, Kyle Rayner, for whatever reason, gets random OD feats. Because of his potential on the emotional spectrum as like an artist, he has really intricate constructs. Kyle has plenty of scaling that puts him above other Lanterns on the list that would actually allow him to comfortably bolo Goku. Next, we got my boy Jon Stewart. Now, personally, I love Jon Stewart. Arguably, it's because I grew up with the cartoon, but Jon Stewart is the man. We've even caught him at one point slanging an Omniversal bullet, which would scale above the DC multiverse. He's one of the strongest that ever exists, can battle members of the Flash family, and overall has plenty of scaling that puts him above Goku. Next, we have Etrigan. Etrigan the Demon. Famous for spitting bars. One of the strongest demons you'll find in DC Hell, which is already beyond dimensions. Etrigan also, because he rhymes, symbolizes, according to Sandman, that he has immense strength in the DC multiverse. Yeah, with his scaling, the fact he tore the face off Spectre at one point, Etrigan can definitely fuck up Goku, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Next, we have Mordru. Now, people wanted me to talk about pre-crisis Mordru for the longest. Yes, you can scale him to outer, even high outer, with some scaling that could possibly put him near the source wall. Run the likes up if you want to see me do videos on him. But anyways, and comment down below in the comment section if you want to see some shit on him, like a goon video on Mordru. But anyways, yes, he does have magic and insane scaling and hacks that scale to outer versal. He bolos Goku. Next, we have my boy Larfleeze. Now, Larfleeze is the Lantern that represents the orange power of greed. This greedy motherfucker has been able to take on the entire Guardians of the Universe, which one blowing up could bolo Superboy Prime, who scales above most Supermen. So, yeah. You don't want to mess with Larfleeze. He would bully Goku whichever way he wants. Next is Volthoom. Volthoom, one of the original Lanterns, has power that could hang with the likes of some of the strongest Lanterns to ever exist, including Larfleeze, who he can try to manipulate. Volthroom through hacks and scaling, out stats and out hacks his Goku. Super comfortable, 0 diff. Next, we have pre-crisis Shazam. Basically, the magical boy that turns into Superman, but stronger with magic. We saw him easily boxing comfortably with Superman, even beating him during this era. With that scaling, yeah, Superman stands no chance once they get in the pocket. Alright, so next character on the list is post-crisis Shazam. So obviously, the gag type or just extreme type of scaling isn't as common with post-crisis Shazam. However, given he scales relative to like Lobo, other high-tier lanterns, Superman, and Wonder Woman, this version of Shazam easily can throw hands and even bop Goku. Next, we have pre-crisis Wonder Woman. That's right. The GOAT of female heroes, Wonder Woman, at this time was an Amazon, basically made of clay by the gods, who is strong enough to scale to the likes of Superman, the lanterns, even being able to take blasts with her wrist gauntlets from gods themselves, archetypal beings. Yeah, pre-crisis Wonder Woman beats the shit out of Goku. Next, we have post-crisis Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman at this point is absolutely vicious. Like, she had a moment where she fought Dark Supergirl as well, and it was like a no diff for Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman told her, like, yo, just because you beat up other Justice League members doesn't mean you can beat me, which was kind of wild. And she has, like, OD power, skill, and stats that would allow her to just overwhelm Goku easily. Next, we have Dark Supergirl. Kind of mentioned her before, but a variation of Supergirl that basically manifested due to the fact that Supergirl had a lot of inner hate towards her situation, Krypton, and landing here on Earth. So Dark Supergirl split and immediately put in work, beating an amped suit Luthor, one-shotting Flash, one-shotting Jon Stewart, and threatening to one-shot Martian Manhunter. This version of Dark Supergirl was absolutely insane and would bully the entire DB verse. Next, we have Rebirth Wonder Woman. Now, Rebirth Wonder Woman is actually a lot more broken. Given it's a culmination of other Wonder Womans, this version of Wonder Woman absolutely beats the shit out of Goku. Too skilled, too physically gifted, and too much hacks resistances as well as her gear. Now, next we have Golden Wonder Woman. If you guys don't know who Golden Wonder Woman is, this is a version of Wonder Woman that was basically created to become a god. A god, like transcending even archetypal beings as a protector of creation. Given Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman are an archetypal trinity that like influenced the multiverse. Wonder Woman achieving godhood shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, and obviously she would bulldoze the entire verse. Now, next we have Injustice Wonder Woman. Now, Injustice Wonder Woman might surprise you guys, but again, after the death of a god and Zeus came down, he basically told Wonder Woman, like, yo, either you put hands on Superman or I beat your ass, bitch. And she was like, I don't want to throw hands with Superman, or I don't want to throw hands with you. I'd rather throw hands with Superman. So she fights Superman, breaks his arm, and bullies him. That's right. The fact she could bully a Superman from Injustice that already explained the crazy shit he did in that just shows how OD her scaling is. And as a result, this Wonder Woman beats Goku pretty easily. Alright, so a couple funny things happened actually in the middle of recording. Sorry for this quick cutoff, but y'all gonna rock with it anyway. Shout out to David Jones. He was commenting on my original post about this DC list. And he was like, it would be funny as shit if Dr. Goon was to like make the list feature at least like 10 Supermen. Like just 10 Supermen just to piss off Goku fans. I was like, bro, you must watch a lot of my content. Because that's exactly what I fucking did. Shout out to you, big dog. Comment down below so I can pin it. You're the man for predicting that based on how I usually do shit. That was pretty funny to see. As well as, you know, we got to get back to the list. Like I said, I'm trying to be a little more detailed with this one than I was with Marvel. can't be too intricate with the discussion on each character because it would be way too long. But anyways, getting back to this, we have Reverse Flash, right? Reverse Flash, there's so many ways you could talk about how he beats Goku. First of all, obviously the fact that he's as fast, if not faster than Flash consistently, and is able to contend with Justice League characters like Superman and Wonder Woman, both who scale to being able to hurt archetypal beings. Reverse Flash, like, and the fact that he exists basically in his own personal narrative timeline, and fucks up and can, like, grandfather ability other characters. There's actually, like, weird shit he could do to Goku. Next, we have Swamp Thing post-Crisis. Now, if you guys didn't know, Swamp Thing is connected to the Green. The Green being a concept that stretches over every multiverse throughout creation, right? This encompasses all the green life. Swamp Thing is a protector of this, and one of the strongest characters regularly portrayed when he does show up, including being able to box characters that are stated to be like Spectre or Trigon level, as well as he cleared out the Retcon core, which can range from like God Sphere level or archetypal, even as high up as Overvoid level, several tiers above, or super high outer. So Swamp Thing's power extent through the power of the Green is insane, and through stats and hacks, he just bullies Goku pretty bad. Next, we have Swamp Thing from Rebirth. Now, I kind of spoke on the aspect of Rebirth that applies to characters, which is Rebirth essentially encapsulates prior feats. Swamp Thing, even scaling to his post-crisis, obviously bops Goku, with Rebirth being just as strong. In the things that can beat Swamp Thing, like high-level BFR from Constantine, Goku's just not capable of. So yeah, Swamp Thing Rebirth, due to scaling 2 and above post-crisis, Swamp Thing would bop on Goku. Next, we have the lovable Phantom Stranger. Phantom Stranger, a.k.a. the Snitch, like the Snitch of God. Basically just tells on people, witnesses shit, all that. Usually doesn't, like, get involved much when it comes to battling, but when he does, shit gets crazy. If you want to see the best Phantom Stranger scaling, in my opinion, his wild shit in New 52 was amazing. But he's walked through, like, multiple universes collapsing, like, billions, and it unaffected him. He literally has boxed with Hell Lords, taken on beings that scale to the collective unconscious, which is outerversal. Yeah, Phantom Stranger, when he decides to actually box, is stupid strong. He even fought the Spectre, who comes in next at the list. For this Spectre, we're going to be talking about some 92 Jim Corrigan Spectre. This Spectre dog walks anything Dragon Ball's ever conceived of. It's horrible. I mean, this man was pulling up on archetypal beings that represent concepts beyond creation. He fought beings outside of the Christian gods' pantheon. He's able to box up Hell Lords. Even gave Michael, the fucking Archangel in DC, Demiurgos, like, he gave him a fight. He gave him a brawl. Even Michael's like, damn, you actually, like, rocked me. That was a good fight. Spectre bolos Goku any way he sees fit, as well as his verse goes bye-bye because he's God's vengeance. Just take the L. Next, we have one of the biggest steppers in DC Comics, Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam's wild as fuck. If you haven't seen my Spectre content, I implore you to do so. Matter of fact, most of these characters are typically covered on my channel. So you can, if you're like more interested in some of these characters, you can look up my content, as well as coffee shop members in my group. They make content on these characters as well. So go check their shout out too. Shameless plug. But getting back to this, Uncle Sam is a character that is from the icon plane, which is like iconic figures that have shaped fiction throughout time. And when Spectre pulled up on him, Spectre got beat the fuck up. Like, Uncle Sam put hands on him. And just by proxy of bullying that version of Spectre that one-taps Goku's verse, it's looking rough for the Saiyan if he pulls up on Uncle Sam. He'd beat the American into that boy. Now we talk about Big Zeus. Zeus is a lot more heavily portrayed in DC Comics as compared to his counterpart in Marvel. Most obviously, this is likely due to the Pantheons having heavier focus in each verse. But anyways, Zeus is wildly capable. In fact, even in Injustice, when he came down and told Wonder Woman she had to box Superman or he was gonna beat the shit out of her, and she decided to box Superman instead of trying Zeus, that should tell you all you need to know. He is from the God Sphere, is one of the archetypal gods, and when Spectre pulled up on him, he was casually making and unmaking multiversal realities like it was a joke. So yeah, like Zeus and his son Ares, who's number 48 on here, are both OD. Now, Ares, like I was talking about, scales somewhat relative to his father Zeus, as well as he's casually able to bully characters like Wonder Woman, who I've scaled before on this and showed where she scales and how she beats up Goku. So yeah, Ares by proxy is scaling to the other members of the God Sphere, as well as scaling above characters like Wonder Woman would casually bolo Goku. Next is Orion. If y'all don't know who Orion is, aka the Dog of War, homie is the son of Darkseid and built to beef with whoever, whenever. He's big dog. Orion has easily been able to beat up like pre-crisis and post-crisis mind-controlled Superman. Like, was fine, boxed him up, and beat the shit out of him. As well as going against his own father, eventually, at some point, fighting, like, Soulfire, Darkseid. Yeah, Orion's destined to, like, match the power of his father. So, saying he scales massively above Goku, it's, like, a no-brainer. Next, we have Zoom. Zoom, a.k.a. one of the other reverse Flash types that bully the fuck out of Flash. Has always been problematic for Flash tier characters, scaling above time and space and speed, having irrelevant speed. Zoom with just pure speed alone and how hard he hits, scaling to characters like Wonder Woman and AP. We know Zoom would just blitz Goku, even troll him because he's a dick, and then body him off raw stats. It would be horrible. We are halfway through the list, so make sure to smash the like button as you have watched at this point. Definitely rocking with you at this point. And the hidden word for this video is Ben Grimm took your bitch. Comment down below Ben Grimm took your bitch, and you might get pinned and even win a YouTube short if you join my server. But anyways, let's get back on track, right? Number 51, Solomon Grundy. Now, I will be the first one to admit, you never know what the fuck you're going to get from Solomon Grundy when he pops up. He might be Batman level, or he's literally soloing the Justice League, not once, but multiple times, to the point that Supergirl tiers have to step in and really try to box with him. So, yeah, Solomon Grundy, when he comes back in his OD phases, is just someone Goku's does not want to fuck with stat-wise. Next, we have Rebirth Black Adam. Now, scaling to Superman, pre-crisis and post-crisis, Shazam and Superman as well. Obviously, Black Adam more than deserves to be on this list. We also gotta acknowledge the fact that this would encompass some of his older feats, which includes he's pulled up on the Justice League by himself before. So yeah, Adam's OD. And I see Rebirth Black Adam absolutely running through the verse, no diff. Especially given the fact he later like breaks the chains of the Great Evil Darkness, which is high outer. Like, yeah, you don't want to fuck with Black Adam. Next, we have Parallax. Parallax, the evil fear entity, is a being that's conceptual in nature and scales to the emotional spectrum, which is way outside the multiverse and can like be a threat to destroy creation. Yeah, Parallax, being one of the strongest entities to ever exist, would easily run through the verse, no issue, just off pure stats. Now next we have Kyle Rayner Ion version. Ion version's basically God mode Kyle Rayner, where he's massively amped by multiple emotional spectrum forces. Given he can box Lar Fleas multiple times, scales, and just transcends above his normal form, Kyle Rayner White Lantern just beats the fuck out of Goku and anybody else associated with him. It'd be horrible. Next, we have the reality warping extraordinaire Dr. Manhattan. Now, this is interesting because, like, Dr. Manhattan, when he was first portrayed, wasn't that crazy. He was just a regular reality warper. However, when he came into DC, came in with big dick energy and was just high outer off rip, bullying White Lantern, scaling above the Justice League, having conceptual hacks, apparently being able to tap into the Overvoid. Manhattan has a bunch of crazy shit that allows him to not only solo Goku, but the verse pretty easily. Next, we have Ganthet. Now, this might be someone you guys are surprised is on the list, because typically I hate on jobbers. But we're going to give this Guardian of the Universe some credit. He has some crazy feats. We know Ganthet level characters can combat constructs of Larfleeze, as well as he's above regular lanterns. And he was able to self-destruct blast Superboy Prime to the source wall. Yeah, his power, like if he let off a blast like that, he would destroy the DB-verse. Ganthet is just strictly too powerful with his regular scaling for Goku to really do anything to him. Next, we have Superboy Prime. Everybody loves Superboy Prime. Mr. Pull up on your bitch and hit you with the retcon punch. Superboy Prime is crazy. Able to casually fight contingencies of Justice Leagues, not just one, but multiple superhero teams at once, as well as literally causing narrative retcons with his punches. If Superboy Prime pulls up on Goku, good night. That's all you gotta say. That shit would be horrible. Next, we have Superman Prime. That's right. There's actually some legal issues that caused the name change. But as well as we do know, Superman Prime comes back later, has different showings, different occasions, even wears a different suit. Superman Prime has recent feats as well of like being able to box with the Darkest Night and just scaling to that. I mean, Jesus Christ, he's way stronger than prior iterations and would mop Goku. Next, we have PostCrisis Lobo. You guys didn't think you were gonna get multiple Lobos on this list? You're nuts. Anyways, so PostCrisis Lobo could beat the shit out of Shazam, catch the Flash easily, who was trying to blitz him, box with Superman no problem, take on beings he could beat up Etrigan the Demon. There's just multiple characters he scales to on the list and just scales outright above that Lobo would have no issue taking down Goku if he pulled up on his verse. Next, we have New 52 Lobo. Now, personally, my least favorite version of Lobo of all time. He fucking sucked. Whoever wrote it, big beef. But anyways, New 52 Lobo, by virtue of an event he took place in, just scales blatantly above. The reason for this is Lobo took place in a Lobo War, where basically like alternate versions of Lobos beefed, and he cut his own head off. Like, he beat PostCrisis Lobo. So, scaling above the prior version, New 52 Lobo would be on the list and would be able to take down Goku. Next, we have Rebirth Lobo. Now, this Lobo is a, like, composite of the prior Lobos. So, having scaling to Post-Crisis, as well as New 52, this Lobo would be wildly powerful. Pulled up on Darkseid, wasn't shook. His stats, as well as his weaponry and capabilities, and some of his hacks, like his clones, would just be too much for Goku, and he'd get ran down on by Rebirth Lobo. Final Lobo I'm going to talk about during this stretch, Infinite Frontier Lobo. Now, this Lobo's absurd. Dark Metal Lobo as well. Like, he literally took a contract, went to the fifth dimension of imagination, which is beyond the multiverse and existence, beings that are beyond even death itself as a concept, and reintroduced death to them and soloed the fifth dimension in DC. That's fucking ridiculous. Like, Lobo one-taps anything in Dragon Ball. Next, we have Mr. Mixie, everyone's favorite fifth dimensional imp. Now, Mr. Mixie is most famous for being a troll of Superman. He's a reality warper of insane degree. Like, he was able to threaten the infinite multiverse casually as a troll, and he had to get slapped by Abstract, like the hand of the presence. Mixie is a character who operates on imagination, which is even beyond death, and would easily be able to just, with a snap of his fingers, erase Goku. Next, we have Batmite. Batmite is like a Batman version of Mr. Mixie, and he has been shown and portrayed in crossovers with Mixie himself. Now, given he hangs out with Mixie and keeps up with him in his reality warping antics and just like the crazy shit they do, Batmite, with the side scaling, again, being 5D, and DC is scaling to imagination beyond concepts like death, he would bolo. Next, we have the infamous Jon Constantine. Now, Constantine is perhaps one of the unluckiest characters around, as he's always getting into shit, but that's because he's always hustling people, he's a horrible person, and he's one of the strongest magic users to ever exist, to the point that Dr. Fate comes to him when he needs help. I mean, this Constantine is able to casually BFR high outer characters like angels from True Form Heaven. Yeah, Constantine would be a fucking nightmare for Goku. Just off guard, one-shots him. It would be terrible. Is Lucifer Morningstar. I'm sure some of you were waiting for this, as Lucifer is a very popular character. But getting into this, Lucifer Morningstar scales to one of the strongest in DC Comics. He can tank the power that created all of the creations in DC Comics, which would be the self-imploding Michael. Lucifer, with his hacks, his trickery, his brilliance, even the Endless, who are concepts beyond concepts, don't want to deal with him. He is OD powerful, OD slick, and wouldn't even notice Goku. Next is his brother Michael. Now, Michael is like the powerhouse of the two. He's known as the guy that like really hits fucking hard, whereas Lucifer might let you off the hook and just bamboozle you. No, Michael's really him. Michael pulls up with he's pulled up on Spectre multiple times, beat him both bound and unbound. Would destroy all of creation if he self-imploded. Michael just has too much raw power to even be noticed. Or to notice Goku, so it'd be horrible for Goku. Next, we have Elaine. Elaine Balak, one of the most OD characters to ever exist in Vertigo or DC, is the daughter of an angel who eventually actually takes the throne as the Presence and replaces Presence himself. Elaine, with her reality warping, scaling to high outer, her raw power, ascending to the Presence tier, Elaine would no diff the verse, obviously, and just out-stats, out-haxes. Next, we have the Presence, but the way I'm doing the Presence is he is in dog form. That's right. Dog form Presence is actually OD. He looked like a terrier, but he bit like a fucking high outer pitbull. He pulled up on the entire Hell Council, including Trigon, Necron, and many others, and he one-tapped them. Like, beat the fuck out of them. Had to come back later and tell Phantom Stranger, like, yeah, I have to reform a new council because that one just got boloed. So yeah, Presence, dog form, absolutely one-taps Goku. Next, we have Wild Presence. In my opinion, this is the scariest form of Presence. This version of Presence is the one Spectre pulled up in the end of his 92 Ostrander run. And Wild Presence was casually consuming Michael way above the source itself, which is high outer, and scaled above Spectre could casually backhand him. So yeah, Wild Presence is broken, wouldn't even notice Goku. Next, we have an obscure character that's funny as shit. We have National Interest. Now, you might be like, yo, what's National Interest? National Interest is actually a conceptual being formed from the icon sphere, similar to how Uncle Sam was, and he's like the ideal protector of national interest. He's like a high outer version of the fucking FBI, CIA. It's hilarious. But yeah, no, he has like high outer vibe checks with his national interest power, and would literally one-tap the verse. Next, we have Necron. Now, Necron is a character who is like death itself. In fact, he's so OD that even Spectre couldn't fuck with him. Like, Spectre pulled up on him, tried to absorb him, tried to stop him, and Necron just walked through him and dissipated him. He's like, fuck off. Can take on entire Lantern Corps, can take on the Justice League casually. I mean, there's so many feats for Necron. He's simply too high out of range for the likes of Goku to deal. Next, we have True Form Darkseid. Now, True Form Darkseid is a version of Darkseid that's obviously beyond time, space, dimension, all that. He is actually like outerversal by proxy of just existing beyond form and conception, can absorb heavens, and Dr. Fate and Constantine had to like team up and combine power to even avert him. They couldn't even actually fight him. They had to avert him. That's how strong he is. He would bolo the whole verse. Next, we have Infinite Frontier Darkseid. The scariest part about this is that Infinite Frontier Darkseid said, yo, you saw true form Darkseid, right? You saw what my avatars did, right? That wasn't even my true form. That was actually just a fragment of my true form. And it's revealed there's like a much higher form of Darkseid than even the true form we saw prior. So yeah, this version of Darkseid, it's even more ridiculous than the one we scaled prior. So yeah, he's in a fuck ton of trouble if you run into him. Now next we have the Jobber Queen Perpetua. Unfortunately for Goku, jobbing as hard as she possibly could still wouldn't be enough, as Perpetua is super high into outer, tapping into the source itself to be able to forge the cosmos and the very existence of DC Comics. Perpetua, as a servant of the presence, is strong as fuck, even though she jobs. She would not job to Goku, and she'd beat the shit out of him. Next, we have Zaytana. Now, Zaytana is someone people sleep on, but she's typically hanging around Constantine, and she's typically the muscle of the two. I've already told you the ridiculous shit Constantine can do with magic, but he typically refers to Zaytana as like inherently being stronger at magic than him, and she routinely shows it and has even gone toe-to-toe with the Upside Down Man from the Dark Multiverse, who can encompass like basically the dark version of the God Sphere with no problem. Next, we have Captain Atom. Now, Captain Atom has gotten a jobber video from me. We'll get a goon one if I haven't given him one already. But Captain Atom is basically like a Superman tier threat in stats that also has reality warping due to his atomic manipulation. Being able to create and unmake realities if he has to, as well as scale it to beings who can do so. Captain Atom would outstat and out-hacks Goku and beat the shit out of him. Next, we have Martian Manhunter. Now, Martian Manhunter is a character, one of the last Green Martians, of course. He has insane reality warping as well. Well, not reality warping. It's more so his mind hacks. Although you can argue reality warping because one time he fought his entire his entire Martian, like white Martian race, and in mind hacks them so bad they got soul hacks. Like he trapped their souls. I don't know. It's like I'd call that reality warping. He could also mind hacks Mr. Mixie if need be. He just with hacks and being able to keep up with Superman and Flash no problem, even when mind controlled. He'd be too much for Goku and would fold him in the verse. Next, hoes are about to be mad, but I implore anyone to pull up on me on this topic. Hell, Seth the Programmer and Chuck can pull up on me with this. Midnighter versus Goku. Now what? Midnighter is a character who can casually keep up with Apollo, who was able to go toe-to-toe with Atrocitus. Atrocitus, the same being prior, was literally shown tearing the Bleed, which contains the infinite multiverses as well as realities and supposedly narratives. Being able to casually do that with his power is ridiculous, and Apollo was able to go toe-to-toe with him, with Midnighter having bested Apollo multiple times, even breaking his nose pretty easily, as well as would have killed Martian Manhunter with one punch because he knows exactly where to hit him. Took down Parasite, a Superman villain, was able to fight the God of Guns, who resides in one of the deep layers of hell, which is an outer realm to begin with. Yeah, and worst case, he keeps the fucking Black Candle on him, which he can access that allowed him to beat the shit out of Orion. Midnighter has plenty of scaling to casually beat the shit out of Goku. It'd be terrible if they ran into each other. Next, we have Mongol. Mongol is a character people sleep on, but they forget he's OD strong. As a keeper of War World and someone that wants to see like the best fighters fight, he, back in the day, beat the shit out of Post-Crisis Superman multiple times. I think even pre-Crisis got some hits. Mongol, like, outright is more so of a powerhouse brawler and can out-brawl with Superman types. So, yeah, he would put down Goku pretty early if they were to run into each other. Now, next is Mongol from New 52. Now, New 52 Mongol gets a lot of respect and scales high because he was able to go toe-to-toe with Sinestro scaling above all the Yellow Lantern rings combined. yeah, just being able to box with someone like that, which he was able to do a couple times, is stupid impressive, and he would beat the shit out of Goku as well. Next, we have Monarch. Monarch being the OD version of Captain Atom. This alternate version was confident going against the monitors, which scale above the God Sphere, making them layers into outer versal, as well as he was able to box with Superboy Prime, which is crazy. And he had to stop because his broken suit would threaten to release his raw power, which would destroy reality. But yeah, no, Monarch would be able to box up Goku and the rest of the verse, no issue. Next, we have Wally West. Wally West being one of the more trustworthy of the Flash family in terms of not jobbing. Wally has insane speed feats as well as can take your speed from you. Using the Speed Force, he has irrelevant speed as well, being able to scale above even characters like Superman in speed. Like Superman, when Wally and Barry are really trying to run, he just can't keep up with them. So just outright blitzes, takes the speed away from Goku if he wants it. It'd be terrible. He could body him however he wants. Next, we have Trigon. Despite people thinking I hate Trigon, I don't. I just think his fan base is hilarious. Trigon is a character who would beat the fuck out of Goku. He scales above typically the Teen Titans, who usually have Raven. Raven, a character who can reality warp on a multiversal level casually. Trigon also was able to absorb like the heart of all the evils conceptually of humanity, with concepts of humanity possibly being able to scale high outer with like icon plane shit. Trigon would easily just have the stats to bolo Goku. Next, we have Bizarro. Bizarro basically being brain dead Superman. Typically is used to face Superman tier threats, as well as we've even seen him kill Trigon in Trigon's own home. Yeah, no, Bizarro basically is a Superman that doesn't know better and might accidentally kill Goku on the first hit, just hitting too hard. He doesn't really know how to hold back like a Superman does. Next, we have the OG Doomsday. Now, we know the original Doomsday is wildly broken. I actually had accidentally like lowballed him for a while when I first started out power scaling, but we know he was the biggest threat to Superman he had faced up to that point, which would include the likes of avatars of Darkseid, Orion, different characters that scale to the God Sphere. Given that that was the strongest threat at that point in his debut to Superman, OG Doomsday fucks up Goku horribly. Next, we have Returned Doomsday, Hunter Prey Doomsday, whatever you want to call him. He comes back much stronger than his initial version. Bop's characters that had defeated him in the past shows insane absorption hacks when he absorbs a being made of pure energy. Was able to run up on Apocalypse, threaten Apocalypse itself, and even take down Darkseid when they brawled. This HP Returned Doomsday is 2 OD, even worse than the original version, and would bully the whole Dragon Ball verse. Next, we have Plastic Man from PostCrisis. Now, Plastic Man is a funny character. People try to put him against Mr. Fantastic, but they're completely different characters. Plastic Man, his body basically exists in like an atomic flux, so it never really has like a pure form, and he's able to just like fuck people up. Able to even go against the likes of Justice League Buster threats, take hits from characters like the evil version of Martian Manhunter. Plastic Man is OD powerful, and with his stats and durability, he would take down Goku. Next, we have Plastic Man from Injustice. Now, this version of Plastic Man scared the shit out of even Wonder Woman and Flash from Injustice, and I already scaled for you how Wonder Woman goes. And he outright walked up to Superman on his throne and was like, yo, if you fuck with me, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. So, like, don't even try to have your people, like, pull up on me. Don't touch my family. None of that shit. Because I'll come back and beat the fuck out of you. And, yeah, he meant that shit. Superman didn't even swing on him. And Superman swung on Hercules. So, like, yeah, fuck. Like, Plastic Man's OD. He also casually one-shot Flash and whatnot. He'd just be too much for Goku. Next, we have Crypto. Now, people might not know this, but in the comics, Superman's dog goes hard in the fucking paint. Like, Crypto, at one point, I remember I was reading Post-Crisis Supergirl for a video, and he pulled up on her. Was able to throw hands with her. This is a girl who her bad half can like one-shot Martian Manhunter, Flash, and Green Lantern. And Crypto was boxing with her. He was like, fuck it, I'm sliding. This dog does not play. If Goku lands in his yard, he's getting chewed the fuck up. Big Crypto. Next, we have Wild Spectre. Wild Spectre is basically Unbound Spectre and doesn't really give a shit. Can casually tear through the likes of Constantine level magic users, put down Etrigan, fight against a contingency team that included Etrigan, and even tried to pull up on Michael and box him. This version of Spectre doesn't give a shit. It would just tear through the Dragon Ball verse. Next, we have Death of the Endless. Death of the Endless is a final death to the multiverse existence, creation itself. When creation ends, all the multiverse ends, everything dies. Death will be there to close the door. Death is one of the strongest conceptual beings in DC Comics, scales to high outer, scaling levels above the God Sphere, as Death is the one to introduce the God Sphere to Death when it's all said and done. Introducing archetypal beings to Death is crazy, and with this scaling, Death just introduces Goku to Death. Next, we have Dream of the Endless. Dream of the Endless is a being who at one point was considered like top 5 in the DC cosmology, according to interpretations from the Sandman run. Now, being the manipulator of the dream, which is like imagination, hope, dreams, all that itself, this would scale high outer, be well above the multiverse in existence, and he would scale to fellow Endless, and has even threatened other Endless. Dream with his hacks would just wish away Goku, and that's that. Next, we have Mandrak, the big narrative vampire bully himself. Mandrak is basically an evil monitor that flipped on Gang and decided he was going to try to consume all narratives and the multiverse. He's not trying to read shit, see shit, all that. It took Cosmic Armor Superman and the Overvoid to calm down Mandrak, but even Mandrak survived the high outer Overvoid and came back. So yeah, Mandrak with just stats alone rips through. He wouldn't notice Goku. Like, there's nothing Goku could do, even wanked, to make Mandrak notice him. Next, we have Raven. Raven, I kind of mentioned before, the daughter of Trigon, one of the scariest reality warpers in DC to run with on a consistent basis. When she's pissed off, she's able to casually warp the multiverse and reality itself, go toe-to-toe with her own father, Trigon, and if Goku pisses her off, he's going to get torn apart by demonic energy. It'd be terrible to see. Next, we have Hawkman. Now, this might surprise people, but Hawkman has some pretty crazy scaling, given he's powered by Nth Metal, which caused the Dark Multiversal Crisis, as well as he carries an Nth Metal weapon. This weapon has been able to take down the likes of Superman in one shot, and he's gone toe-to-toe with and swapped hands, like literally got hit by Black Adam and was fine. So if you're able to box Black Adam and put down Superman with your weapon and have the speed to fight Black Adam and Superman, you can definitely take down Goku. Next, we have Belial. Now, or Belial, however the fuck you say it. He is the son of Trigon and a character that even challenges the strength of Phantom Stranger. As one of the Hell Lords of highest regard and ranked among the strongest in the Hell Council, he has been able to take down angels themselves, which are high outer in existence. So yeah, just being that strong and scaling that high, Goku couldn't even get near him. Next, we have Hell, or Hyle, the evil Saiyan Kryptonian, basically. Like, he's just a raging Kryptonian Saiyan type being. Pulls up, has the Saiyan rage, starts spazzing, able to take on Superman and multiple Superman tier characters, no problem, even laugh at them. Has more hacks than Superman, for example, like telepathy. He's just a broken version of a Saiyan Kryptonian type race fighter, and with his weird hacks and the way he rages, it's like fighting, like I said, a Saiyan version of Superman who also has telepathy. You just don't want to do that shit. Next, we have Eclipso. Now, not many know this, but Eclipso was actually the original Spectre, a punisher of evil and God's justice. However, he kind of lost himself to the hate of being God's wrath and became basically an evil version of that, a wild specter type, so to speak, and is a threat to the multiverse and creation that Spectre has to take down. Yeah, if Eclipso pulls up on Dragon Ball Goku and no one else can stop him, it'd be horrible. Now, smash the like button. We have reached our last character on this video. This has been a hell of a recording. It took like over an hour. That shit's crazy. But anyways, Upside Down Man. Upside Down Man hails from the dark multiverse and is a being, basically conceptual nightmare. Like, he's just all the nightmares you could possibly think of and haven't thought of, even nightmares for gods. And he can casually envelop realms that are like the god sphere, no problem, and warp them to whatever he wants. Upside Down Man shows up in the Dragon Ball verse, it instantly turns into the Upside Down Man verse, and there's nothing Goku can do to stop that. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It took a lot of time recording and making the list and going through it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons. Stay tuned. I'm going to put a poll up to vote for either manga version of 100 characters that beat Goku or horror. Which one do you want to see first? Thank you guys for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.